I've put a ND filter at 4 stops instead of that it looks a little bit more misty because it's a longer shutter speed. I'm gonna go just for a quick handheld composition of this pathway and the beautiful tree and the sunlight. But I also underexposed the photo a little bit, so I tried to recreate that at 3 seconds. Good morning, welcome to my video. Today I'm here in Deuneghem. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, but I tried. And I'm here to actually photograph some moving water. And I was wondering if there's one lens that fits them all, or if you have to use every lens that you can get. But my first composition that I already made is not about the waterfall, but it's more about the trees that I found, the composition that I saw, because I'm photographing this picture in a portrait orientation, because I want to capture the high trees, because we got some light that's coming from the tops of the trees. We got some light greens in the tops and also some darker greens, and the light greens are branches that are catching light, and it really creates for a cool atmosphere or a cool contrast in the landscape. Also got a tree stump here in the foreground. That's our foreground element, and also the path leading our way into this picture. We got some light coming in from the left side here, and I really thought it really looked amazing, so that's why I'm photographing this first composition, and then I'm gonna look for for some water to photograph and see if we need the tele lens, the wide angle lens, or maybe just a prime lens to photograph the water. We will see. I've put the 50mm onto the camera body, and it really feels like the perfect fit for this composition. And I also put my 2-in-1 polarization and ND filter onto the lens, because I want to get rid of the glare of the water a little bit. And also with photographing water, it's always nice if you can look a little bit into the water, but for this composition it's not really necessary. But it helps a little bit to see the rocks that are laying into the water. I hope you can see it, but this here is the zigzag in it water, and that creates for a nice leading a line into this picture, and it helps. I think it helps leading our eye into this picture. I took 3 photos of the same composition. I took one at 2.5 seconds, 4 seconds, and then at 13 seconds. I took this picture in landscape orientation because this picture really is fit for an horizontal picture and not for a vertical picture. Just because we got some beautiful rocks on the left side of this frame, and we got some movement of the leaves on the right side, and then the water, the cascade is big enough to actually almost fit the whole frame. So that's a really nice composition for our second picture, and the first one with some water. I don't know which one is the best. Like the 2.5 seconds is, you can really see the movement in the water. That's really nice to see that. But the 13 seconds, the water is so, it's like a little bit of mist onto the water, so that also looks really nice. I will show you the 3 pictures, and decide for yourself which one is the best for you. Normally I was going to make this video yesterday, but yesterday I wasn't able to get out of bed because my body was too stiff. The day before, we in Belgium there was it's called the Dodentocht. It's like the walk for the dead. It's a road that's 100 kilometers long, and people are walking it from 9 in the evening till they are finished. Some people even run it. They're crazy. But a family member also walked the 100 kilometers. So I decided that I wanted to help him out and give him some energy to walk it all the way through. And I picked in when he had to do like 18 kilometers more. So he was almost finished. And then at the end I walked 22 kilometers that day. And I'm not a trained walker. Even if I go on these shoots, it's not that I'm walking a lot, but my body was sore, my feet were sore, my left upper leg was super stiff, and the whole night I had problems with turning in bed. It was hard to find a good position to sleep in, and that morning when the alarm went off, I was like standing up. It was too much, so I had to listen to my body and give it a day of rest. But today the calves are still a bit stiff and sore, but with walking the muscles will get warm again. And I'm still searching for another composition, and there are a lot actually, but I'm really looking for a beautiful one, just not to capture the composition. The next composition is set. I got the Tamron 70-300 on here, and it's at 70 millimeters. It's just perfect for this composition. I'm shooting a little bit further into the landscape, and I'm using the trees on the side of this river to get the natural frame of this river. And just for funsies, I just took a shot with a 30-second shutter speed, just to see if it's something fun to use or if it's even usable or not. And it doesn't look too bad, but I think I prefer a little bit longer shutter speeds where you can see a little bit more of the movement of the water. I just took another one at 2 seconds, and I prefer that a little bit more. Yes, I was just looking if it was 2 seconds. There are a bunch of small waterfalls at the same place. And I think it just looks a little bit better when you can see some the falling of the water, instead of that it looks a little bit more misty because it's a longer shutter speed. And I'm shooting towards this water river part. And this is about the composition between those trees here and then this water here with the telelens. And I think it looks really great with the telelens because you're compressing in the backside of this composition. You cannot see everything of the landscape, but it really looks so peaceful when it's just a small piece of the landscape. It's gives a bit of a relaxing vibe, and that's why that I wanted to shoot this composition. And it's not the first time that I'm shooting here, because last year I also made a video in this forest. I broke my polarization filter at that moment. With cleaning it, it broke, so I had to buy the new one. That's why I have the 2-in-1 ND and polarization filter, and it's much better. The sun is already shining into the landscape, and also this looks like a really nice composition with the path leading our eye into the landscape, and then you got this beautiful tree, and then all the sun around it. Yeah, I'm gonna take a photo. I'm gonna go just for a quick handheld composition of this pathway and the beautiful tree and the sunlight. I don't know if I should include the sun or not. 15th of a second, f9, ISO 200, just to have that little bit of a shutter speed. Just so I can handheld it, the composition. We got a little bit of sunlight in the left up corner, but I think it's okay to have that in the corner. In post-processing I'm gonna make it a little bit more yellow, so we get that beautiful golden glow coming into the frame, and bring up some contrast in this picture. It's gonna be a nice one. Just saw another composition a little bit further into the landscape, a little bit with a beautiful waterfall, a lot of moss on it, and the sun is lighting it up. The sun is lighting it up, so it looks like another 50mm or tele-lens composition. You have to see what I'm doing here. That's beautiful. That's nice. Looks super great. I'm trying to hurry myself a little bit because I don't want to lose the light, because the waterfall, the main waterfall of this composition is lit up right now. So if I lose that, I think I will lose the purpose of this composition. I'm sorry, I'm not in the frame. Come on, track my face. Let's go. Yes, that's good. So I put the polarizer ND filter on here, and I'm gonna take out the glare of the water. Alrighty. So ISO down. 2 seconds again. I've put the ND filter at 4 stops. To get rid of the light a little bit. The 2 seconds is really perfect for the composition. I'm gonna go a little bit faster or a little bit less light. I don't want to go faster with my shutter speed. My highlights were still a little bit clipping, so I don't want to overexpose. Still again a little bit. So I'm at 5 stops and a half now on the ND filter. Because where the light is touching the waterfall, it's still a little bit overexposed, but not a lot anymore. This is so beautiful. This is what I call a beautiful composition. So I went a little bit nuts on photographing this beautiful waterfall. I also took a photo in portrait orientation, and at 70mm with the Tamron 70-300, because in the front of this waterfall, here in the front, there's some water spinning, and I took one at 8 seconds in the portrait orientation, and you see the movement in the water in this picture is super cool. And also I went a little bit closer to the waterfall, and I'm now at 150mm approximately, and I'm just shooting the beautiful waterfalls here, and just isolated that beautiful waterfall with the green moss on the rocks, and took one at 2 seconds. 2 seconds, yeah, and also one at 8 seconds, just to play a little bit with the shutter speeds to see which one fits best. But now the sunlight is already moved and it's past. It's not shining anymore on this little waterfall. So best light is already gone, but I managed to capture it, so that's a great one. I'm glad I'm in the forest today because it's gonna be 30 degrees or 32 degrees, and even now in the forest it's still in the morning, and I can already feel the warmth coming from some places where there's less trees. So it's gonna be a hot one when I'm gonna get back out of this forest. I'm not looking forward to it. I wish I could stay the whole day in this forest and just cool off, look for cool compositions. That would be awesome. You have to be careful because a lot of moss here on the rocks and I don't want to slip. Scouting for a new composition. I surprised myself a little bit because the composition that I made looks really cool on the back of the screen, so I was not expecting that. I was going for the two waterfalls here in the front of the camera, and we got the rock here just coming into the right side of the corner, and there's a bee coming towards me. Go away. I'm a little bit afraid of bees because I'm allergic to them, so I had to stay calm a little bit. It was like, ah. But yeah, for the composition, really cool spot here. Turn, turn, turn. Just for fun. I also tried to take a photo at 13 seconds to make the water really smooth, but I also underexposed the photo a little bit. So I tried to recreate that at 3 seconds, and that really looks super amazing on the back of the screen. Just at 3 seconds, underexposed, you see the movement of the water in this picture, and we got a little bit of sunlight coming into the top of the screen, in top of the picture, with the moving water and just in front of the lens on the bottom side of this picture. It really creates for a leading line, a bright line in this picture. It goes from really bright in the top of the screen to a little bit softer light on the bottom of the screen. So that means if you're going to look at the picture, first we're going to see the bright spots, the trees, and then we're going to move down with our eyes into the picture. Really amazing. And this picture I took with the Tokina 11 to 16 millimeters, and we're almost at 14 millimeters with this composition. And I wanted to take a photo with the Tokina because we can go a lot closer to the water and make it look really big instead of making it more intimate. It looks more robust now and more it's nature. So I wanted to have also a super cool composition with the Tokina. I've just put the time on 70 to 300 again onto the body because I was really hurrying to capture a small detail in this beautiful river pond, and the sun was lighting up a beautiful rock with some moss on it. The sunlight was just on top of that green moss, and now it's on the side, but it was just a little bit too late to capture the best moment of that moment. And I also put the ND filter onto the lens to smoothen out the water a little bit. That's the thing with the sun, it's constantly moving, so sometimes in landscape you have to go really fast and sometimes you can take it slower. Just took another intimate shot from this the same place, still in the waterfalls where we're shooting with the Tokina 11 to 16 millimeters. I'm shooting a little bit further, a smaller little waterfall in this landscape, and just to capture this intimate little waterfall. It's like we're having the feeling we're just shooting above the water to this little waterfall, and the sun is lighting up the rocks over there. So that looked like a really fun shot. I hope you like it too. Hope you had fun. I did, and I will be back here because there's so much potential in this forest. But for now, I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.